Good morning, Jeffrey. I'm good. How are you? Merry Christmas Eve. Good morning, Olivia. Oh, hi, Jules. Thanks, Jules. Thanks, Jules. How are you, Jules? Cece, how was your birthday? Thank you, Cece. Did you go to Cheesecake Factory? Hi, Emma. Hi, Mimic. I keep looking at my connection because I don't want to move. It was good. I feel old now. Oh, girl, you're a baby. Cece, you are a baby. Don't you ever say that again. I'm still a baby, Cece. Okay? So you definitely are still a baby. Hi, I don't even know how to say your name. Furfur? Did I say that right? Ah. How are you, Mimic? She didn't want to go out because of traffic. Okay, okay. There was some traffic out there. Where did I go? Oh, I went to the food store yesterday. I didn't really want to do it, but I was like, you know what? I wanted to have lunch meat in the house because I'm not cooking the next couple days. I was like, do it now because you'll just be done. You won't have to go back out. Hi, Sally. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Good morning, Sally. All right, we're doing okay right now. I'm looking at my internet. I love this spot. I don't like to move from it. I would stay here all day if I could, honestly. Yes, I finished all my Christmas shopping and I finished all my Christmas wrapping last night. And today I have to do some cooking, like make some dips for the parties. I have a party tonight and then my brother's tomorrow. So now I'm not cooking. I have not cooked Christmas dinner in so long. My brother cooks, which I absolutely love. I make chicken dip. I make chicken dip, Cece. That's my thing. Like that I just make all the time for parties. And I make Reese brownies. So they're like my favorites. Like everybody asks me to make those things. So it's buffalo chicken dip. It's buffalo chicken dip. So it's pretty popular. It's cream cheese, ranch dressing, cheese, hot sauce, and chicken, basically. Yeah, so like shredded cheese, ranch, dressing, and cream cheese, and hot sauce, like whatever hot sauce you like. And then you just dip your tortilla chips in it. Yeah, Sally, that's so funny. It's literally what I just said. I dipped the tortilla chips in it. I've gotten so good at making chicken dip, I can make it like in a second. So I used to buy chicken breast, cook the chicken breast, shred the chicken breast, but now I buy the Purdue chicken in a bag, and I actually like it better because I think it lasts longer. You can have it for more days. I think chicken gets funny tasting after like a day. Just any like cooked chicken. So the Purdue chicken, you could buy like the kind that's like original. They have roast, they have all different flavors. I get regular. You chop it up really small. And I know some people do canned chicken. I can't do the canned chicken. I'll buy the Purdue in a bag and I'll cut it really small and then mix it in there. And it's so good. It tastes exactly the same. And it to me, it lasts longer. So like the kind you get in a bag, so it's already cooked. It's like people put it in like their salads, like that kind of chicken. It's already, or you could put it like, you could put it on a wrap, like that kind of chicken. Yeah, I can't, I'm not saying it's gross. I've never had it, so I really can't say canned chicken's gross, but I just, to me, for some reason, I don't know why, because I don't like tuna. So I think I connect it to tuna. That's why I don't, the canned chicken to me, I'm just eating, I would just be eating tuna. So that's why it's like, that's what my thought of it. So I don't look at any of the stuff labeling. So I don't know what has sodium and what doesn't. Listen, I drink this is full of sugar, so I can't talk about anything having too much of anything. I never read labels. I never read like any of that kind of stuff. So I don't like mayonnaise at all. And then I found out that Caesar dressing has mayo in it because my daughter made it homemade from scratch. And it tasted exactly like regular Caesar. But as I was eating it, because I knew it had mayo in it, I couldn't get that out of my head. So even though I've eaten Caesar salad a million times and I like it so much and I like enjoy it when I eat it, but now that I know there's mayo in it, I literally can't eat it now. Like that's why I cannot read ingredients. The mind is powerful. It tastes like can. It tastes like the can, Susan. It does remind me of tuna. Does it, Sally? Reminds you of tuna? Yeah. It's in my mind. It's in my mind. Do you have thoughts on purpose or deja vu? It's so funny. I was just thinking about deja vu this morning. Sincere asked, do you have thoughts on purpose or deja vu? I was just thinking about deja vu. I was thinking about how like everybody, like almost everything, everybody that I have met in my life and lots of things that happen in my life, I feel like I've known it before it happened. Like I always felt that way. I kind of talked about this a little bit with people. Like you feel like I've known this person before. Like you almost feel like you did plan this before. So yes, I have had many moments of that. Like deja vu, yes, very dominant moments of deja vu where like this literally happened to me before, right? But the thing with me is I've always felt that. I've always felt like I knew this person. I met this person before. Like I have such a connection with this person. So yeah, like I've always had those types of feelings. Hi, Tony. Merry Christmas Eve, Tony. Well, those health nuts are now saying certain veggies. Right, Cece. Wait, that's so funny. Cece said health nuts are saying that now veggies are bad for you, right? Oh, thanks, Clover. When I was really young, and I remember like the news would be on every morning before I go to school, and I'll never forget. I just did not like when the news was on. I hated the sound of it, and I remember them saying they're now saying studies are saying that milk, and they were saying that milk was bad, and I'm like, okay, something's not right here now. Now they're saying milk is bad. And I just remember not buying into anything. Like, it just was enough for me. I was like, you can't, nothing's good for you. Literally nothing's good for you. So, like, you could say anything. You could say anything and people will believe it. So I just never bought into that stuff. Exactly, Faith. Exactly. Pretty much, CC. So if I like it, I'm going to eat it. If I like it, I'm going to drink it. That's it. Bottom line. I don't even drink water. I don't like water. I try all the time and I feel like I'm forcing myself and I'm miserable when I drink it. And to me, it's not worth it. So I don't do it. And I'm perfectly and content with that. Thanks. Is it Remix? Did I say that right? Sometimes I try to look up your guy, like if I'm not sure what your name is, I'll look it up. But sometimes it's the same thing. So I figure after this, I'll probably start doing my cooking and stuff like that. They did the same. Yeah, like I could imagine someone, like people always say it. I mean, everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to have like, but whatever. If someone can tell me equals bad for me in my tea and I'm just going to go, oh, really? And I'm still going to pour those equals right in my tea. Hi, Jim. This beautiful pink color, that's not one bit Christmassy. I'll probably change it tomorrow. Hi, Matt. Merry Christmas, Matt. You too, Susan. Have a nice Christmas. Are you headed out or off, Susan? Because I probably won't see you until Tuesday. Bye, Naku. Merry Christmas. I can't tell if people are saying Merry Christmas because they're getting off. So did you say you were going to stop updating the link? I did, Cece. Did you read it? So here's the thing with it. I just feel like I got my message out, right? So I feel like I don't want to make it more difficult. Like I feel like I've gotten to the point in my life, even because that audio, guys, has been something I created that has helped me. And it was me learning along the way how this is all just an experience. This is all just for fun. I've gotten to that place in my life where that's what calmness is teaching you. That's what relaxing practices are teaching you. They're helping you understand that this is all just a fun experience. There's nothing serious going on here at all. This is all just, and you're able to realize that. And that's when things start to manifest and you start to believe in all of this, is when you start to break down the programming, right? That's what the relaxing practices are helping you break down all your programming. Part of your programming is that this is all real. This is not even real. This is all just a fun experience you're having, right? So I'm at that place where I've gotten everything I needed in that audio, right? So I have more stuff, Cece, though. It's not it. I do have more stuff, but you could tell even by when you're going to listen to the rest of my stuff, how it feels like I got everything out that I needed in that audio, right? I mean, who knows? It's open. So I'll always be able to add something here and there. I'll always be able to improve it in other ways. So I say, for the most part, yes, that's a wrap for it. But I mean, who knows? Like, I may want to add to certain things on it already. But I think for the most part, I have everything because it's like, it's all in steps, right? So that's what I'm thinking. But just like, it's something where you can always go back to. You can always start from the beginning if you're having a moment. It's like something you'll always have, right? Because that's the only thing. It's all about understanding that what you focus on is what continues to grow. That's really the simple concept. So it's getting you out of all of the unfavorable things in your life. It's helping you delete all the programming. It's helping you live your life more in flow, more free, more light, more relaxed, more carefree, not taking things so seriously. So that's basically what my audio does for you guys. It helps you see that this is just for fun. Nothing serious. Oh, Merry Christmas, Remick from London. Sorry. What is happening? Oh, okay, Carrie, you were asking a question, right? Because always remember, nothing has meaning here, right? Nothing has meaning. Everything is neutral. Everything's neutral. So relaxing is breaking down all the negative programming. That's what relaxing practices do. So that's why you have to do them for a while. And that's all you have to do forever, for the rest of your life. Because what takes its place is truth. Once you break down all the programming, it's automatically the truth is taking its place. Because when you break down, because nothing has meaning, but you are unconditional love, right? At your core, you are unconditional love. So it breaks down all the programming and those negative belief systems and brings you back to your truth, right? So that's basically what the practice. And then you understand, like, of course, you start to believe in your manifestations because they're coming from you. They're all coming from you. These desires can only come from you. What is your own end goal? Yeah, my end goal is happiness in each moment. That is my end goal all the time, forever and ever and ever. That's my only end goal, is just happiness in each moment. Feeling as fulfilled as I can in each moment. And that's in my audio. Happiness will always be the priority. Happiness will always be the prize. Thanks, Waldemir. Merry Christmas, Peter. I can't really, I don't teach law of assumption, Jay. I don't teach law of assumption. So I just explain it differently than other people. That's all. I mean, it's all similar, Jay. All of it's pretty similar. It's just, what do you resonate with, right? Everybody resonates with something different. Thanks, Christopher. So how I explain it, Jay, is that, it's knowing that every possible reality exists in this moment. Anything that you want to experience, it's done in this moment. Anything you want, you can open to that. So, okay, I can be doing anything I want. Anything I want is done. Best case scenario, it's done. And you're moving towards that now. Now that you know that you're moving towards your best life in every area and aspect of your life. Now, the only thing you're doing now is making the best of where you're at. That's my practice. That's it. Okay? Anything that shows up in your experience that doesn't feel good, Jay, and anyone else that's listening, it's just it's simple. It just doesn't match what's best for you. It's very simple. So you have to find a way, and these are where my practices come in, to not interact with that. Anything that doesn't feel good, you have to find a way to not interact with that. That's it. That's my practices. I never say the word law of assumption. I never even say the word law of attraction. I don't teach it like that. I teach this through how I learned through my own experience and knowing what I know now, because it's all the knowledge, right? It's the knowledge of that every possible reality exists, that I'm unlimited. I can be doing it. I came here to live an amazing life. That's all I need to know. All I need to know is I'm here to live an amazing life. I'm here to live my best life. My most abundant timeline exists now. That's enough for me. I'm moving towards that now. So now it's just making the best of where you were at, appreciating the things you have already created, because you created it all. I created everything around me. So I got to learn how to make the best of those things and see the best in those things and find good in those things. And when something shows up that shakes me, that triggers me, that upsets me, I got to find a way not to interact with that. And that's where my practices come in. Calm, quiet, and relaxing you're not fueling that. So anything that shows up that triggers you, you got to find a way to not fuel it, because it's only your focus and attention that keeps it active. So people always say, how do you know everything that you know? It's because of my practices. Because my practices will break down all that programming, that this is even real, that there's nothing serious going on here. This is all just for fun, right? So I don't do the law of assumption, so I can't really explain it because I don't do it that way. Yeah, I have no interest in law of assumption. For a little, like if it's making me think too much or anything like that, I'm out. I'm like, I want simple, easy, just right to the point. If something shows up that triggers me, I just got to not interact with it. That's it. And once you don't interact with it and you stay calm around it, it actually just works in your favor. It's that simple. So anything else for me just makes it more complicated. Of course, Clover, yes. Make it as fun as you can. Like at least it's Christmas Eve. So it's like people are in a lighter spirit and a lighter mood. So even though you're at work, at least people are more light. People are more happy, right? Most people are more happy. Of course, Near. Yeah, I definitely, Blue. I believe that you're working with your higher self. I believe that you've planned this all before you got here. And I trust in that because it's worked for me. So like people will say you're giving up control, but you're actually not. You're just learning how to control your emotions in all of it. Literally, that's all you're doing. You're learning how to control your emotions and not be so like, right? And that's actually what's moving you towards everything in the best way possible. It's very simple. If you want to make it more like logical, you're just controlling your emotions. Literally, that's all you're doing. And when you can control your emotions in life, everything will go your way. That's flow. That's what it means to be in flow. Now you just know more about how this reality works. Thank you, Faith. Now you just know more how this reality works. Now you just know you can be doing have anything you want, right? Which I guess that's the law of assumption. I don't know much about the law of assumption. Just assuming that what you want is done, which probably pretty much the same thing I say, right? Well, but remember those living in pain. Why would you say it like that? Remember those living in pain. How about how about saying, I know that they're moving towards better and best because we know more now. So to say, you don't want to say it like that. Well, remember those living in pain. Well, you're just fueling that story. You have to switch that story. You have to say, you know what? I know that people are going to be moving out of pain now. People are going to be moving out of suffering now because we have this knowledge now. We know more now. So it's always just be aware of how you're saying those types of things, or else you just keep those types of things active in our experience, really, because it is a co-creation. Yes, right, Cycle? They're healing. How to stay positive if you feel things keep going wrong. Just stick to my practices. So you're not going to try to how to stay positive if you feel things are going wrong. So I never tell people to stay positive because that doesn't work at first. That's where my practices are so helpful. MBW is that you don't have to try to stay positive. I couldn't stay positive. I always say my whole world flipped upside down. You just got to get calm and you just got to relax your body and that's enough. And that's really what you're going to be doing a lot of. That's what you're doing a lot of at first is just relaxing practices and doing relaxing practice. Start a meditation practice. Guys, start a meditation practice. I used to say this all the time to people. When I first started learning this, all I did was meditate all the time. I woke up, I said I worked a really like regular job like everyone else. I got up at 5 a.m. and I made sure I meditated every day because I was determined to understand this. I was determined to break down my programming. I was determined. So I meditated. So start a meditation. Instead of saying like, oh, everything's just going wrong, just say, you know what? I know I'm moving towards best and better, and I'm going to stick to a meditation practice. If that's all you can do at first, do it. Because that's all I could do at first. I didn't know or understand where it was taking me. It took me to everything I ever wanted, though. Starting out meditating. My SP texted me and said he wanted his stuff back. How do I make it so he wants me? You gotta, Quinn, you can't be, okay. You're too focused on on the person. He said he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. Well, that's because you gotta be in a relationship with you first. You gotta focus on you, and you gotta feel good on your own, and you gotta be able to feel good without the relationship. To bring in a healthy relationship, to bring in anything, you got to be able to feel good no matter what's happening around you. That's my practice. My practice is alignment and feeling good no matter what, right? It's not trying to get away from anything or trying to get something to make you feel better. It's being exactly where you're at right now and making the best of that and everything around you and learning how to feel good no matter what. That's very simple. It's not hard. That's where you're going to move towards your best life too, because you can't run from yourself. It's only you having this experience. You're creating everything. You're creating this circumstance in your experience of your person not wanting to be with you. You're creating that. So this is where you want to go within and say, okay, time to focus on me. That's all that's telling you, Quinn, is it's time to focus on you, to understand how this all works, that it's all coming from you and you're creating everything in your reality. That's why we're all waking up now, guys. That's why these things are happening that feel like they're so bad. They're here to wake you up to say, wait a minute, this ain't real. This is just a fun experience. This is just a play. We're all acting in a play. So it's giving you an opportunity to either move towards that and start breaking down this programming, or stay where you're at and say, my life sucks. Like that's just how it is. But it's not hard. It's not hard. You just got to commit yourself to wanting to break these things down, right? That's why I say, like, I can give the practices and I can tell you guys what to do, but it's up to you to do it. So I usually tell people, start with like a meditation. I was so excited to start I was so excited about this information. Was anyone else like so excited? Like, when I learned about Abraham Hicks and listening to all these people, I couldn't get enough of it. I was like, oh my God, I was consumed by it. And I moved through this so quickly because I was loving it. I was loving this information. That's why I even though it feels like years, like people say, how long did it take you to get to this point? It took me years, but it was great years. Like I was loving it. I don't want to ever stop learning this stuff. I love it. I love this stuff. The fact that this is all a fun experience, is there anything better than that? Than knowing that this isn't even real? This is all for fun. And you're creating it and you get to have whatever you want and have any experience you want. That's enough for me. Yeah, so Jennifer, I have so many things. I have one in my audio that I just sent out to everybody that I say, it says, it's not that serious. Life's not that serious. This is all for fun. Maybe I'll make one for you guys for release, like a smaller one that I can fit on release resistance. But it's just like that. It's just repetitive saying, this is all for fun. It ain't nothing serious going on here. There's nothing to worry about. It always works out. You can't make a mistake. So that would be it's like, yeah, those types of sayings. I'll say, I have a audio of that, or audio. I have a affirmation of that. They're my type of affirmations, stuff like that. Hi, PNW. So Great PNW says, how do you start manifesting if you have never? Is it just positive thinking? So here's the thing about that. You have always been manifesting. You're always manifesting. You can't stop manifesting. Anything around you, you've manifested, PNW. And guys, anything that is around you right now, look around you, you created it, because it can only come from you, right? So it's just that now you're aware of it. Now you know you're manifesting. That's the only difference. So before it was unconscious, it was to a degree unconscious, because you can stop and say, you know what, you're right. I did manifest my dog. I did manifest my furniture. I did manifest this home. So you manifest it. That's all. But now you're just aware. Now you're aware. So now you know you're unlimited. Now you know you can be doing anything you want. So PNW and guys just know, like, okay, now I'm moving towards my most abundant timeline in every area and aspect of my life. And that's it. And kind of just learn how to go with the flow of life. And learn how to, like, not resist this moment, relax into these moments. And that will just move you towards everything, making the best of where you're at. Appreciation is one of the most powerful places to be in. I had to practice to get to that point, right? Because we can't just, at first you're deleting a lot of those programs. So it's not easy to say, you have to be in a real state of appreciation, right? That's why I never resonated with like gratitude practices, because it's not real unless you really feel it. You're just saying words, I'm grateful for, right? Robotic affirmations. So you get to that point. The more you do these practices, the more that you understand how this reality works, you are grateful for what you've created. You understand that you're the one that created it. You start seeing the positive in things. You start seeing the positive in others. And literally that's what moves you towards best and better. It's so simple once you start doing these practices. Hi, Linda. Oh, Jennifer. So that won't work for you, Wendy. That won't work because you have to be open to this at first. So if it's not going to work for you if you're not even open to this, but just by saying, I never get what I want, I'm living in a mobile home with mold, like you have to be open to this at first. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you. But I can only tell you that right from this moment, if you want to start moving towards best and better, you have to know you're moving towards best and better. Right? And these types of stories, you have to quiet down. You can't speak about how your life is horrible. You have to start saying, I know I'm moving towards best and better. I know that I'm here to live an amazing life, and I know I'm moving towards best and better. And that has to be enough for a lot of people. That had to be enough for me at first, right? I know I'm moving towards best and better, and that had to be enough. And you just want to be consistent with the practices of relaxing and meditating and going within and honestly, it's meditation and a lot of relaxing practices, really. Making the best of where you're at. Really, you can make the best of where you're at. You can do little things here and there. You can make the best of that mobile home. You can make that home nice and make it a pleasant place to be in. Like, go to the dollar store and get yourself a couple candles. Like, you can make it nice. You can. And just that alone is going to lead you to more. You know, like, you can. I've done it. That's how, when I first moved into my first home, it was not nice, guys. It was not a nice home. But how quick did that home transform? I can't even tell you. With no money, I wasn't working, nothing. But that home transformed into the most beautiful place over time. I was using their furniture. I was using their kitchen table. There was holes in it. But I still made it work. I cleaned it. I made it nice. And from there, I didn't know about manifesting at the time, but I know what happened. I kept making the best of what I had. You got to make the best of what you got to move towards more. You can't keep complaining about what you don't have, or you're just going to keep having what you don't have. Do you sleep during your meditations? Yes, I use my sleep meditations that I have in my audio for sleep. I use them for sleep. Even some of the just affirmations I use too. So I don't just use the sleep meditations as I sleep. Sometimes I use just my affirmations to sleep, just the ones that say, they're affirmations that say, life's not that serious. This is all just a game. This is just for fun. So I'll listen to that as well as I go to sleep. It depends on my mood. It's all in my mood. Like, which one do I want to listen to tonight? So in the audio I have, in the Lazy Manifesting audio, I have 2 meditations and an affirmation. The rest is just talking about relaxing practices, giving you practices, telling you guys how this reality works and stuff like that. Right, Cece? But to me, I like that, don't you? Cece says, this is a practice. You never stop practicing it, but life does get more fun and life gets more exciting, and it gets more, because you're very aware of how what you focus on grows, and how like when something sets you off just a little, you're like, oh wait, let me just chill, let me just get calm, and you watch it work in your favor. So it's kind of starts to become, it does start to become fun, where you're like, you're actually seeing it in front of you work in your favor. That just happened to me very recently. I was like getting real, as a mom, like I'm always ready to jump and like do, but I'm like, no, 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 you just sit and let this work itself out. And it did. It worked itself out. And it was great. And it was like, I did that. Like, it's all me. I'm like, you realize how powerful you are. Hi, Edwin. Linda, when do you leave? Are you still home, Linda? Does relaxing really prevent gray hair? I don't know, Barbara, because my daughter told me I got a few of those in there, but I'm okay with it because it's only one or two. Let her be the one to point them out, right? But I'm like, no, it's not. It's blonde, girl. It's blonde. Come on now. I don't know what that means, Sebastian. She's doing this on Christmas Eve. Still go relax, have a glass of wine. I don't drink wine, if that's what you mean. And I'm very relaxed right now, so I don't know what you talk about. I got my heated blanket. I got my drink. I am very relaxed. I couldn't be more relaxed. I saw myself every day. No, just relax. I woke up. I woke up this morning and gave, oh, Linda, that's so cute. I'm so excited to give, like, I'm not as excited my kids because they know what they're getting, but but Mel doesn't, and she's going to be so excited because she got so many, she likes those little Lammy toys, and we got her so many. Like, I don't even want to talk about it in front of her. Like, she's like a human to me. Oh, Edwin, thank you so much. Oh, Merry Christmas to you. And hi, Barbara. How are you? I would say it gives you less. It gives you less gray hair. I always had the belief because my, oh, thank you. Snoochie. I wanted to say Snooky. My grandma like had like no gray hair. She had dark hair and she had like a few gray. So I'm always like, I take after her. I always used to say I take after her hair because she had really thick hair too. So it's all what you want it to be. It's all what you want it to be. I gave it to him today because, oh, Merry Christmas, Linda. I know you are. You're going to have such a great Christmas. What do you think about manifesting as an SP? Same thing about manifesting an SP. You're the one that had the desire. It can only come from you. And if you can only have the desire of that being a possibility for yourself. It's all coming from you. So it's anything you want to manifest. Anything you want to manifest comes from you. Any desire you have comes from you. So if you're saying, I want to be with that person, it's because it's a possibility, because you're unlimited and every possibility exists. So the fact that you're like, oh, I would love to be with that person. Well, that can only come from you because you're the only one having it's all your own experience. So that's why the more you do these practices, you understand that, because a lot of people have a lot of questions about that, but it can only come from you. You manifested the person in the first place. You're the only one that can manifest it, right? So from then on, that's why like I said, like that's why you have that desire. It's like, I want to be with that person. It's because that possibility actually exists for you. It's really just about you getting out of your own way and letting it happen naturally. Let it evolve, right? Thanks for what you've done for me. Oh, of course, Patrick. And you got to remember, guys, like this is why I tell people to stay away from a lot of stuff, because there's so much information out there that makes you think things are harder. It's harder than it needs to be. It's like, because why? There's so many meanings out there, but really nothing has meaning. Nothing has meaning. You're placing the meaning as you go. So let things evolve naturally. Let things evolve effortlessly, and you'll get to a point where you get it. Well, that makes sense. I'm the only one that can have the desire in the first place, because it's me creating everything anyway. Everything's coming from you. It can only come from you. This is your own personal experience, right? Kind of get what I'm saying? I know. It's like deep stuff, but it's actually not that deep. It's pretty simple the more you do the practices. Hi, Halud. Of course. Yeah, so even when it comes to a dream, I try not to like make too much of my dreams. I just wake up. If it's like affected me a little bit or upset me a little bit, I just move on from it, just as if it were anything that were to happen in my reality, right? So, and if it's a good dream, it's a good dream. Like, oh, that was a good dream. But I try not to like put too much meaning onto my dreams, of other than it's just a dream, right? Because this is all just a dream too, right? Hi, Bruce. How do you live in the end? But, okay, Charlotte, you said, how do you live in the end? I don't live in the end of anything. See, that's the thing. I don't teach it like that, Charlotte. I teach it as if, I hate saying the word teach it. How I explain it and how I've experienced it through my life is I'm living in the now, because that's what's moving you towards it, Charlotte. So the end for me is that whatever I want's done, and I'm moving, and that's it. That's my end. It's literally that simple. It's that light, that it's done. But I'm living in the now. I'm living with what I have, because that's what's actually moving you towards it. It's by making the best of where you're at, Charlotte. It's by breaking down the belief systems that don't serve you now. Because if you just bring something in by doing these techniques, guys, you're not really breaking down the belief systems that don't serve you. So you're just manifesting more stuff into your life. And you'll find yourself in a cycle and a pattern of not really being happy. And I've done it that way. It's a temporary fix. It's a quick high. It's really not the way you want to do it, but you can do whatever you want. You can't make a mistake either. I always say you'll eventually make your way back to me, because it's really about breaking down the belief systems and just knowing that what you want will make its way to you. But you can't be anywhere but where you're at now. So be where you're at now and make the best of where you're at now. And when something pops up that triggers you up or upsets you now, you do the practice. You just calm yourself down. You relax your body. You keep settling yourself down in those moments and start showing yourself that it's always working for you, always working in your favor. That's what helps you believe in your manifestations. That's what helps you understand how this reality works. That's what helps you break down all those belief systems that don't serve you. And one of those belief systems is that this is even real, that this is all real, so real. None of this is real. So one of those belief systems that will break down is that this is all for fun. This is just an experience that I'm having. It's me having my own fun experience. I get to live the life I want to live, and I get to have fun and live this most amazing life. And I don't got to do anything to get it. I was born to have this experience. You're worthy. You're born worthy, right? So it breaks down all those belief systems that tell you you're not worthy, that you can't have anything you want, and you got to work hard to achieve your goals, and you have to prove something to the world to be in this world, and all those belief systems that have us so brainwashed. So the more you do these practices, you'll break all that down. And that's what you want. Trust me, that you want to get down back to your truth of why you're here, which is just to have a fun experience, and you are the experience having the experience, right? And those manifestations are experiences as well, right? But they're not bigger than you, but they're not less than you. So it's not about taking it off a pedestal. It's not about putting it on a pedestal. It's that there is no pedestal. Everything's equal. Nothing is separate from you. We're all here having an experience, and it's literally that simple. And it's that simple. So there's just a lot of misinformed information out there, which that's fine, because we're all just becoming aware that we create our own realities, and people, are trying their best to understand it as well and figure it out as well. But it's really not that complicated. We're just here having an experience, and it's fun, and keep making the best of where you're at and doing your best, and keep relaxing, meditating, and you'll break down those those belief systems and you'll get to the truth of it just like I did and other people are that follow me. Oh, thanks, Charlie. I like that. I like that comment. You are sharp. Merry Christmas, free world. Yes, Faith, right? And you know what's funny, Faith, about that, about the meaning thing? I've always found pressure to place the meaning. So I don't even place meanings. I just know that as I'm breaking down the ones that don't serve me, better ones are being replaced. Now I know I'm probably placing meaning, not realizing it, but I know it's positive meanings because I'm positive now. I'm on the other side of things where I can see the positive in situations. So I don't even really place meanings on. I always felt that to be pressure, like changing a story and persisting in it, or the placing meaning is that everything's good. Like nobody's here to hurt you. Nothing's trying to hurt you. And again, it's all about just having that light, fun experience that we came here to live, right? Right, Bruce? That is very important because you can't be anywhere but where you are. Like once you realize that you can't be anywhere but where you are, you'll start accepting where you're at quicker. But that's the thing about manifestation. And people say, how do I speed to what I want? It's by making the best of where you are at now. It's such a simple way to explain it, but it's like not enough for people because they're so used to like, I got to figure it out. It's the figuring out part. Like, no, I got to do something more. We're also in an action doing energy. And it's actually the opposite. What leads you to what you want is the opposite of that. It's by chilling. It's by relaxing. It's by just making the best of where you're at and knowing you can't be anywhere but where you're at. But that's a good thing. So accept it and enjoy it and make the best of it. And the more you can do that, you actually move to where you want to be so darn quick. So darn quick. And it's too simple. It's too simple for people. It's too easy. They're like, no, I gotta do something. I gotta do these affirmations. I gotta persist in something. I gotta work hard, right? Yeah. And I'm starting to learn, Faith, the more that I do these practices, is that you're not here. And I love Val. Val literally like made my day yesterday, and I couldn't even stop thinking about it because what I used to always tell people is the story doesn't matter, right? The unfavorable, the circumstances, they don't matter at all because when you relax, they automatically go to best case scenario. I say they either work in your favor or they literally fade out of your life, like disappear from your life. And that's what I mean when I say circumstances don't matter, the story doesn't matter, right? So what Val was saying yesterday, she's like, I realized that I don't have to sit. You're not sitting in the pain to suffer. You're not sitting in that pain, that discomfort to suffer through it. You're sitting in that discomfort to prove to yourself that it can't hurt you. It can't hurt you at all. It can't affect you at all. And the more you're not afraid of those moments because it's only the story that's causing you the discomfort. It's only the story, the circumstance that's making you tremble or get upset or be afraid or shake and worry and be scared. It's the story that's causing that fear within you. And when you can relax into that and soften your body and watch it, you'll watch things start to work in your favor. That's the thing. And you can only do that with the things that are happening now, with the things that you can see in front of you. You can't do it with your manifestations. Those things are making their way to you. That's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that you can't see. But you can do it with the situations in your life now, guys. That's where your power is in the now. Manifestations are making their way to you, but you can't see a lot of that. It's behind the scenes. Some of it's gradual and happening, and some of it you really can't see at all. But you can prove to yourself now with circumstances that aren't working in your favor by staying calm and relaxing. Kira, how to work on body image issues. So first, don't say you have body image issues, right? So it's about, I know this. I know how this works, Holud. I know this now. I know that I'm moving towards best and better. I know I have the most healthy, amazing, beautiful body that exists and it's making its way to me now, right? And don't be so focused on what you don't love about yourself. Find things you love about yourself. I go back to things about me, and I can only give you tips that worked for me. And when I was having moments of not loving my body as much, Holud, I would just wear clothes that were more relaxed, that made me look different, even though it was deceiving. But like, you find ways to love yourself, and then you'll move into that. I mean, really, that's what I did. That's what always worked for me. So like, after I had babies and I was maybe a little heavier, or maybe I just gained some weight, I would just wear baggy sweatpants, and I would wear clothes that were more fitting to me to trick me. But then you move into, you move out of it, and you move towards best and better. So it goes back to Holud, making the best of where you're at. Make the best of where you're at. Don't be looking in the mirror. Don't be jumping on the scale and stuff like that. Find things that work to make you look good and feel good now, right? Maybe just do your hair, do your makeup every day. Do something that works for you now, and you'll keep moving towards best and better, right? Those things seem so simple that I'm telling you, but that's everything. That's what's going to move you towards best and better, right? Yeah. So like, that's the thing. Like, you find what works for you, Holud. Like, that book of positive aspects never worked for me. There were certain things I just couldn't do, that just I didn't resonate with. So you find things that work for you. For me, like, whenever I was having like body image like issues, or not feeling good about myself, I was like always the clothes thing. I would always find, like, I would wear like cute sweatpants that were a little baggier. I would wear like, shirts, the stuff that made me feel good still, but like, it was deceiving. So I didn't look heavy to other people, but you make it work. You make it work with where you're at, and then eventually you move into like what you want, right? Yeah, Holud. So on those days, just chill, relax. On those days that you're feeling it, be like, you know what? I'm going to do my hair and my makeup today. Like, I'm going to be extra today, right? And make yourself feel good in other ways. The more I try to be healthy and focus on my appearance, the worse I feel when I don't care. Yeah. So I enjoy that. I enjoy getting up and doing my hair and makeup. I'm always like, what am I going to wear today? Like, I get excited for that. So that's something I actually like to do. Maybe that's not for you, Near. Maybe that's like something that puts too much pressure on you. Maybe that's not you. Like, you don't have to be like everyone else, right? I always say that. Like, I enjoy putting makeup on. I love doing it. I always did, ever since I was a kid. That's something I've always enjoyed doing. So find what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. What works for someone else may not work for someone else, right? And that's what a lot of it is too, guys. You're figuring out what works for you, what works best for you, what you like to do. I told you, I used to get my nails done and I hated it. But I wanted to have my nails done. And I'm like, I got to find something that works for me, because I hate going every 2 weeks. And I hate when they grow out, and I can't take this stuff off. And then I was like, why don't you paint your own nails? So I started doing it, and I'm like, I love this. I love going and buying nail polish. I love painting my nails. It's so relaxing to me. And I'm like, duh, why didn't I ever think of this before? So you just find through life what works best for you, what you enjoy more doing. Hi, Kieran. Oh, that's another one, Holud, with working out. So over time, you said I don't like working out. So I figured out what works for me is getting it done early, because if it's not done early, it hangs over my head all day. And doing things I like. So like, I do minimal workout. Minimal. I do it in my home. I have a weight. So holding a weight helps me like get through it quicker. I get through it. But here's the thing with me, is that if I don't do it, I feel worse. So I have to pick. Do it, feel better, and be happy all day, or don't do it, have it hang over my head, go to bed and be like, I wish I would have worked out. So I have to play with those two. So you have to play with that. Like, if I don't work out, is it going to bug me all day? Or I could just do something little every morning and feel better and work my way into maybe a little more. I barely do anything for my workout. I do sit-ups, push-ups, and like squats and lunges. Like, that's it. I don't do anything. And I do not do reps. So again, it's all about finding things that work for you. Yes, Charlie, yes, right? Having them work together, definitely. Which is like you being yourself, really. It's you being able to be yourself. I do work out, but sit-ups I have problem with because I had surgery. Yeah, don't do what you can't do, Linda. Like if you can't do sit-ups, don't do sit-ups. Don't hurt yourself. Never do anything that you don't want to do, that you hate doing. Like I can't do the treadmill. I can't. I've tried so many times. It feels like torture to me when I'm standing on that treadmill and I'm looking at the time every 5 seconds. I don't know. What's up with my voice, attention? It's probably loud. Yeah, I can't run. I mean, I can walk outside, but not on the treadmill. Can you explain about this is all a dream? It's just knowing that this is just an experience. You're just having an experience here. It's like a glimpse. It's like a blip. I always say it's like a blip. But it's all belief systems here. So this experience is the fact that it feels real is a belief system. It's supposed to feel real. That's the point of it. But it's just your spirit having a human experience. That's what it is. Like you're really spirit. That's what you are. You're a spirit. Your love, your source, right? Unconditional love. But you're down here to have this. That's why it's like a heavier, dense feeling, because you're here to have this human experience, to have all these fun experiences, to touch things and feel things, right? That's all part of this experience. But it's not real. We just over time we've picked up so many unfavorable belief systems, fear-based belief systems, and that's how a lot of people are living their lives in fear. So that's what we're breaking out of now. We're breaking out of that. People got lost in that. People got lost in thinking this is so real. This is so real. This is so serious. So that's what we're now waking up to, that this is not serious. None of this is real. This is all for fun. This is just a game. I know some people will listen to me and think you're crazy, lady, but you have to do these practices to realize there's nothing serious going on here. When you start seeing things go your way and you start realizing everything is just literally an experience for you to have, and the more you relax and don't take things so seriously, things work out for you. Things go your way. It moves you towards your best life. It moves you towards all the things that you planned before you got here, right? You did not come down here to suffer. You did not come down here to experience suffering. You did it. So it's really just about understanding, and you have to do these practices a little bit to really get to that point where you're like, oh wait, this ain't even real. None of this is real. This is just fun. You right? Yes, Charlie. Yeah, so it's like basically knowing there's so many different ways to explain it, right? But the best way for me and how I go about life is knowing that I'm moving towards my most abundant timeline all the time. But I'm in my most abundant timeline now, right? Because there only is now. So for me, it's just knowing that's enough for me. I know I'm here to live an amazing life, and my most abundant timeline exists now in every area and aspect of my life, right? But this is my most abundant timeline, and I got to make this moment great, where I'm at right now, what I'm doing now. And each moment you do that, and that's what's actually leading you to your most abundant timeline. You'll start to realize that everything starts to come to you very naturally, very effortlessly. It's very effortless. You get out of all the action, all the doing, all that I need to prove myself, all I need to explain myself. Oh, I need people to get this. I need people to understand this. I need people to get me. You break down all of that, and you're just you. You're literally just you. You're just you. And that's when everything starts to come to you, which is so weird, but that's how it works. Hi, Bridget and Kay. I didn't see you guys. Oh, Jules, well, hear this thing, Jules. Jules, I'm laughing because me too. Jules says, I've gotten so much better with that though. My friend uncle have to have his foot amputated. She's pretty upset. What do I say? Oh, so I mean, you could just wish them luck, right? And just be there for her. Like, if you're gonna be there for her, is that what you're saying? You're saying she's pretty upset, so I'm confused by he's pretty upset, or is it like his wife or something? Well, you don't have to say anything. Don't think you have to go out of your way to say anything, right? If they bring it up, you're just going to be in that conversation, just being there and just being there, right? Don't feel like you have to I have to say something or I have to go out of my way to say something, right? Just knowing that and sending them the best is enough. But if it's in a conversation, you just be there and you just get calm and light about it and wish them the best. Even in your mind, wishing someone the best is enough. Yeah, well, that's kind of what it comes down to, Derek. That's what's going to happen. You're just moving through life very carefree. You're unbothered by things, but happy. So stop caring can mean one thing and mean something else. I'm just smiling. I'm just happy. I'm not caring. I mean, I'm just unbothered by things. You're just I don't know, you're just oh, life is good. You just know it, nothing's that serious. So you just don't take things so seriously. And if someone else is taking something seriously, you just relax and you just stay calm in that moment. And then they usually start to come around, right? Exactly, Lynn. That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, that's what kind of starts to happen. You know what to say to people. You don't oversay things. You don't jump in anymore. You kind of just sit back and you just you're just there. But I used to be like that too, Jules. Not as much anymore. I've gotten way more relaxed. But I was always so extra, cleaning and getting things ready for parties. But then people would come in and it never stayed clean anyway. So I don't know why I ever did that. You clean for parties and then people come over and then it doesn't even look clean. We should clean after the parties. Oh, that's a long answer. What am I grateful for in 2023? That's a long answer. Whenever I relax, the path reveals. Oh, yes, Holud, exactly right. I love taking a step back and realizing. Oh, I know, Bridget. I love that. I'm scrolling up with what Bridget said. Right? And I think that's what we forget to do sometimes is to stop and say I got this far, look how far I've come and the knowledge that I know now. So even if I go back to an old pattern once or twice, which we're still human, you're oh wait, I don't do that anymore. I know better. I don't have to do that. I don't have to figure anything out. We're all figure outers. We are figure outers. And now we don't have to figure things out. Same thing I say, even when it comes to chronic illness and pain and all these things, is it's just you have to know and accept that you're moving towards best and better. It always starts with that, Bailey, right? So when I'm talking about this stuff to people and they say, well, what about if I'm in pain or I have chronic illness? Again, you have to know and accept that, okay, I know I'm moving towards best and better now. And stop saying that I have chronic illness. I know I'm moving towards best and better. And change the stories that when people ask you how you're feeling, I'm getting better. You don't got to tell them about manifesting. You don't got to tell them about you're moving towards your best reality and that you're both health. You don't have to go there. Just I'm better. I'm getting better every day. And again, stick to the practices, meditation practice, relaxing practices, right? Especially when something flares up or it's really your thoughts. It's when you don't feel good, you start to say, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, let me Google something else. Oh, because that's how the sickness comes anyway. It's a belief. It's something that starts over time and then you go to the doctors and they confirm it, and then your family confirms it with you, and then Google confirms it, and now you have a chronic illness, right? So you have to just accept that now there's actually a healthy version of you, and you're moving towards that now. So that's number one. Things feel like they are falling apart, everything leaving, no money, no friends, no home. Well, if you know this information, you wouldn't say that, right? If you're following me, you wouldn't say that, because that's all serving you. Anything that feels unfavorable circumstance is serving you when you do my practices. So with my practices, you would stay quiet. You would stay calm. You wouldn't say everything's falling apart. I have no money. I have no friends. You would just keep that to yourself, and you would get very calm and very relaxed, and know that you would calm that story down, and you would know that things are working for you. Everything's always working for you because you know how this reality works. You know you're moving towards best and better. So my practice is, and don't research because I can tell you, you're probably picking that up from researching. Everything's going to fall apart before everything comes in. Well, then everything's always going to have to fall apart before things come in. I never vibed with that. That didn't happen in my experience. Things do not have to fall apart before things come in. There's a lot of misinformed information out there, very old ways of manifesting and explaining this. For me, everything was very gradual. It's very obvious. If something pops up, guys, that triggers you or upsets you, it's time to get quiet, calm, and relax your body and let that work for you. Let that work itself out. It will work itself out. It's all about getting out of your headspace and trying to figure things out and taking these things. But a lot of it's research, and I talk about it in my audio, and I've been talking about it a lot more. You got to cut back on that research. There's way too much information about manifesting and things. This is what things happen before a manifestation comes in. And this is what's going to happen before a manifestation. And this is no. It's very limiting, guys. It's keeping you in cycles, okay? It's very easy. I'm moving towards my best timeline right now. But right now, you're just making the best of where you're at. You're making the best of maybe not the money right now, but you're making the best of it in other ways, right? It's about calming that story down and redirecting your focus to something that is working, and making the best of your home, and making the best of this, and making the best of that. And that's the practice, and that will always be the practice. You got to break down those fear-based belief systems. And one of them is the fact that things got to fall apart before things can come in. Doesn't happen. It doesn't have to be that way unless you want it to be that way, and unless you're following things that tell you it's going to be that way. That's going to be your experience, because everything in this experience is a belief system, right? And so I say, like, there's so much limit. I know it's tempting, and I know you want to just research and grab your phone and find more information and learn about this, and when's this coming in, and how do I do this? Try to put it down. Be like, no, because all your power is in the physical things you have now. All your power is in the things you've already created. That's where your power is, with the things you already created, and making the best of the things you already created. And when you can start doing that, and when something that you created pops up that shakes you, physical thing, you can get yourself calmed down and watch it work in your favor right in front of you. Literally, watch it work in your favor right in front of you. It will work in your favor. Keep doing that practice, and that's it. That's all you're doing. The rest of this is me just chatting about how this is just a fun experience. South Jersey burper. That burp was nothing, okay? That was a girly burp. Candy. Exactly, right? Things don't have to hit rock bottom. Right, Faith. I know. That one always triggered me. I would have to go within. Because, like, at first, like, yeah, I was researching too, and I'm just like, what do you mean things gotta fall apart? So now you're waiting for things to fall apart, right? It's like, you're like, oh, wait, my life's not that bad right now, but everything's gonna fall apart, and then I'm gonna manifest my dream life. No, that's another belief system, guys. But there's just, like, and people are convincing. Like, I'm telling you, I would scroll through. People are like, this is what happens before your manifestation comes in. Everything will fall apart and crumble to, and, like, they convince you, and you're like, oh my God, like that's why I do these practices for a while. Get yourself you need to get to a place where you have strong discernment, right? And where you're like, you can laugh at things. You can laugh at those things. You're like, okay, no, Like, get out of here. Like, I love tarot readers. I love them. People have their opinion about them, but I absolutely love them. Honestly, they do all my manifesting for me. I mean, they literally tell me I'm going to be famous. I don't want to be famous, but like they do my manifesting for me. I'm a lazy manifester. But if there's one that tells me something that I don't want to hear, I ain't listening. But I have strong discernment. So people can have their opinions on tarot readers, but I love them. I've always loved them. They're telling me a story, right? I think they're more wise than a lot of people talking about this stuff. So, but if there's one that doesn't resonate with me, I'm like, all right, keep scrolling. Don't listen to it. You're the one that's creating. But, I always say, like, they're like, you're going to be famous. And I'm always like, I don't really want to be famous. That's why you're going to be famous, because I don't want to be. So, hey, I'm all for these tarot readers that tell me that I'm famous. Right, Kay? Right? And that even gets lighter. You get so much lighter in life. The more you relax, the more you make fun of things, the more you listen to very resistance-free affirmations. Like I told you guys, what do I listen to? Funny, happiness, laughter. Life's not that serious. That's the kind of stuff I listen to. And that's how my life is unfolding. Very carefree, light, unbothered, just skipping through life, floating on a cloud. Yeah, I mean, hey, if it works for them, then it works for them. But that never worked for me. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want things to fall apart. I never understood the cold ice bath thing. I didn't resonate with that. I don't resonate with pain. I don't resonate with that. Like, I think that's why I always wanted to understand this on a deeper level. Like, I really wanted to get how this truly works. And you do start to understand that it comes down to, like, you don't have to sit in these stories to feel the pain of it. You have to show yourself that they can't hurt you. And that's what going within has taught me, and experiences have taught me, that you're not sitting in any of this to suffer. You're not sitting in any of this to feel the pain, I got to feel it, to turn it into power. You're showing yourself that it can't hurt you. It's actually the total opposite, but you have to do it a few times to show yourself that, oh wait, it can't hurt me. Nothing can hurt me. Like I'm invincible. Like I'm literally invincible. Aw, Faith. What if the IRS is... Girl, Ava, I said, nobody can tell me a story that I haven't had.
Can I use your computer?
Yeah, right now.
I can do it later.
All right. A couple minutes.
Actually, let me know. I'm going to print out stuff for Addie's present.
Okay. I said I had every story. Ava, I had this happen to me, and this was one of the best things ever. I wasn't the IRS, but you got to get calm. You got to find a way to not fuel that story. For me, it was just really getting calm, really relaxing. I wrote a letter. It was something with my daughter's, like with one of my kids' schools, and it was like a fine. And if I didn't pay the fine, I was going to have to go to court. And I'm like, I do not feel like dealing with any of that. This is when it all started, that I proved to myself that remaining calm is so powerful. So I got calm and quiet. I wrote them. I felt the inspiration to write a letter. I wrote a letter. I got wiped clean from it. So you have to find a way to diffuse that. You have to find a way to not, to make it work in your favor. So by getting calm and quiet at that point, for me, the best thing to do was to just write a nice letter. So I wrote like a letter explaining my situation, and I got completely out of it. So that's where going within and getting calm will lead you to that. Now I know I don't have to engage it. Like I've learned so much from that. You don't have to even, if you just do not engage with those things, guys, and you just say, I don't want to deal with it at all, you can just wipe it, clean it from your life. Literally, I've gotten to that point. So really, you just got to quiet it down, because what you're focusing on is what stays active in your experience, right? So whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're giving your attention to, that's what's going to stay active in your experience. So if you're fearing this story, this IRS is going to get me, the IRS, and you keep explaining and you're feeling that fear within and you're telling that story at the same time, that's going to be your experience. But if you can do my practice and just quiet down and relax your body and say, no, it always works out for me. I know it's going to be fine. I know I'm going to be okay. And you can keep softening your body, and that you'll start to see it work in your favor. You'll start to see it go your way. So it's just that simple thing, because like I said, guys, it's all what you're focusing on that stays active in your life. It's your focus and energy that keeps it alive. It sounds so simple. Oh, duh, that's why. But you got to practice this for a while, because we don't realize how much things we're giving our attention to that don't serve us. That's why my practices are so powerful, because you do this over and over and over again. You delete all that shiz from your life. You delete all those things that don't serve you, because you realize how many things you were giving attention to that did not serve you, that you didn't even realize. You were just unconsciously doing it, giving your attention to so many things that just like literally just they were not moving you toward your best timeline, right? Does that make sense to that IRS question? I said, I have a story for everything. Sometimes I think to myself, this had to happen to me for a reason, guys, because I'm not one to like attract those types of situations. Like going to jail. Like, come on. Like, I was never like that girl. But I had to go through those things to be able to talk about it to you guys, because everybody throws something at me and says, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, it's self-explanatory, because what you focus on is what you're going to continue to experience in your reality. So it's about really understanding how your mind works and how this reality works, right? And then doing these practices for a little bit to eliminate the things that you're giving attention to that aren't serving you anymore, right? Hi, Christine. Have you been here, Christine? I know, Kay. I know, Kay. And you start to get it, because you're like, wait, why am I arguing with that? I don't do that anymore, right? I had things that I was arguing with for the longest time. I had dominant stories too, guys. Like I did. So I had to really keep breaking those. I had to really keep catching those moments of where I was like, stop arguing with that. You're keeping it alive in your life. And I'm like, stop arguing with it. I wanted to argue. I wanted to figure it out. I wanted to go back and get my way, right? I know, right, Christine? But like I said, then it starts to become fun, because you realize like now it's all working for you, because you got rid of a lot of that drama. And even like I'm such a drama-free person, but I was still creating drama in some way, shape, or form. And the more you do these practices, you're just living a complete drama-free life. You're not in that drama anymore. You're just like, you're just seeing it differently. You're seeing life differently. You're perceiving it differently. And it's more, it starts to become fun. And you're not mean. You're still kind through all of it, because you made it through these unfavorable things in a good way, right? You realize nothing's here to hurt you. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. You don't have to be mean to anyone. It's always going to go your way. Just stay calm, just stay kind, and it'll continue to work in your favor over and over and over again. Did you guys see Steve? That little shit. You just got ghosted. I always say, Nicole, people don't want to hear it at first, but being ghosted is a good thing, because now it's giving you time to focus on yourself and understand how you create your own reality. So being ghosted, when you have a breakup, when you have these things, they're waking you up. They're giving you an opportunity, Nicole, to show you that you create everything in your reality, that you can be, do, and have anything you want, that you can move toward your best life in all areas and aspects of your life. So I know many people will see that as a bad thing, but I see it as a good thing, because it's serving you. It's really going to help you go within. It's going to help you focus on you, and it's going to help you move toward your best life now, right? So it's going to start with you really just focusing on where you're at now, knowing you're moving towards best and better now. Oh, Christine. Me too, Christine. Me too. I had a story in front of me work my way. But you know what's fun about this, Christine and guys? Like, it's when you're watching it work your way now. Because now you're just so aware of how this works, and you're seeing it. Like, things in my like reality now, like if something upsets me, like I was saying, like normally I would jump to just fix it on my own. And now I'm like, no, go within, quiet down, and relax, and just let it work itself out by getting calm. And like I would try to take my attention off of it, but even if the story's there, as long as you're relaxed, you're gonna watch it work in your favor. It starts to become fun, right? Me too. Me too. Yeah, it does. It starts to become fun. And that's why I'm loving like that we're experiencing this together. Like with Val yesterday talking about it too. It's this is where like to me it really starts to get fun because you realize like you're serving it, and if a person's involved in it, guys, you're actually helping that person by taking a step. I was always like a people pleaser. Even though I was coming out of that in other ways, I was still finding myself doing it with like people close to me. Like I want to jump into action and fix it and help them. And I'm like, no, that's not serving people. It's definitely not serving me because I'm always jumping for everyone. And Bridget, like being a mom, like I'm sure you can, and even like you have animals, I do it too with them. I'm like, all right, let me just stop. Let it work itself out because it will. It will. And it does. It works itself out. Oh, I love that, Christine. I love that. Because like, I always think back what Abraham says. And she used to say, like, you're not helping people by always trying to fix it for them, right? Or having empathy and sympathy and, oh, come here. Like, I know life, that doesn't actually serve people. But you can't even do that until you start doing that for yourself. It's that action energy. It's that always wanting to take action and always wanting to fix it, right? Always wanting to figure it out. Like they're those old patterns that don't serve us or anyone else, right? It took me a while to get out of that just jumping to do. That's a practice in itself. But then you start to get more rewarded. I would say rewarded. It's not rewarded. But like things come in that are more in alignment with you, that stuff that you want, your manifestations. Like I would say, things you planned before you even got here. Because I didn't plan for any of this, guys. Like I didn't plan to be talking on TikTok with a community, create a community. Like that wasn't what I was thinking until life just started happening for me, right? It evolved very naturally as I was going through life experiences. No way, Jules, that's so cool. Oh, right, Kay? I know. Like I say, a lot of these things you say and you get, but you don't get till you keep doing the practices, right? Of how like you create everything. I've created everything. It's all my creation. And you can say it over and over again that it's me having my own experience. But until you continue to do the practices, you don't realize, oh my God, it's really just me. And it all comes down to non-reaction and not reacting to things, because that's when you start to see you are the creator. Non-reaction is everything, because it really starts to help you see in time, the more you do it, that I am the creator, right? It's not in persisting and trying to bring things in. That's never going to let you really see truly that you are the creator, that you hold all the power, right? Because then you're kind of just bringing things in on top of these limiting beliefs that just don't serve you. But the more you can stop and sit back and get out of that action energy and do less, like Abraham says, it changes everything. It literally changes everything. All right, I am going to jump off because I hear Steve meowing, and I'm going to start my cooking, my Christmas Eve cooking. I have a party later. Yeah, Ava, I always said non-reaction. That's what I always kind of say. So non-reaction is kind of similar to nervous system regulation. You hear those labels all the time. It's pretty similar. Non-reaction and nervous system regulation. And that all the opposite of that is just calmness practices and relaxing practices and staying quiet in moments where unfavorable pops up is very important. Not venting, not complaining about these things, and keeping it to yourself, internalizing it and sitting with it to watch it work in your favor. Not sitting with it to suffer with it. Sitting with it, calming your body down, relaxing your body as much as you freaking can. I'm talking relax your body, soften your body, and give those stories time so you can see it work in your favor. Do not jump to anything. Do not do anything. Just keep sitting in it to watch it work in your favor. Like that's the practice. That's it right there. All right, everybody, I'm not going to see you guys. So have a great Christmas. Have a great Christmas Eve. I'll be back on the day after Christmas, obviously. Oh, you too, Jules. Have a great Christmas. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's what it's all about. I feel like we all do it for each other too, Jules. Like, definitely. All right, everyone. Have a great Christmas. Bye, Cece, Christine, Bridget, Kay, Linda, Matt, everyone. Bye, Emma. Love you guys. I hope I didn't miss. I'm sure I missed someone, but.